Shri Bhagavad Gita, chapter 5, Karma Yoga, that is, action and Krishna consciousness. Arjuna said, O Krishna, first of all you ask me to renounce work, and then again you recommend work with devotion. Now will you kindly tell me definitely which of the two is more beneficial? The personality of Godhead replied, the renunciation of work and work in devotion are both good for liberation. But of the two, work in devotional service is better than renunciation of work. One who neither hates nor desires the fruits of his activities is known to be always renounced. Such a person, free from all dualities, easily overcomes material bondage and is completely liberated. O mighty armed Arjuna, only the ignorant speak of devotional service, that is Karma Yoga, as being different from the analytical study of the material world. Those who are actually learned say that he who applies himself well to one of these paths achieves the results of both. One who knows that the position reached by means of analytical study can also be attained by devotional service, and who therefore sees analytical study and devotional service to be on the same level, see things as they are. Merely renouncing all activities yet not engaging in the devotional service of the Lord cannot make one happy, but a thoughtful person engaged in devotional service can achieve the supreme without delay. One who works in devotion, who is a pure soul and who controls his mind and senses, is dear to everyone, and everyone is dear to him. Though always working, such a man is never entangled. A person in the divine consciousness, although engaged in seeing, hearing, touching, smelling, eating, moving about, sleeping and breathing, always knows within himself that he actually does nothing at all. Because while speaking, evacuating, receiving or opening or closing his eyes, he always knows that only the material senses are engaged with their objects and that he is aloof from them. In Japji Sahib, Guru Nanak Dev Ji also says, Akhan jor, chupina jor, jor na mangan der na jor na jivan marna jor na raj malman sor, jor na jukti chate sansar, jis san jor kar veke soe, nanak uttam nich na koi. We have nothing in our hands. So similarly, Krishna is telling to Arjuna over here in text 8 and 9 that one who knows this is very intelligent. He is surrendering everything to the Lord. The yogis, abandoning attachment, act with body, mind, intelligence, and even with the senses only for the purpose of purification. The steadily devoted soul attains unadulterated peace because he offers the results of all activities to me, whereas a person who is not in union with the divine, who is greedy for the fruits of his labor, becomes entangled. When the embodied living beings control his nature and mentally renounces all actions, he resides happily in the city of 9 gates, the material body, neither working nor causing work to be done. We have no darwaje pragat kiye, dasma gupt rakhaya. Bani also, Amardas ji writes that har gufa andar rakh ke vaja pavan bajaya. He calls this body as a cave and says, by keeping our soul in this body, the body of this cave, which has 9 doors, the God has kept the 10th one a secret, and the 10th the dwar comes to be revealed when you go to a master or when you go to the Guru's dwar, Gurudwara, where Dasma Dwar dikhaya. Dasma Dwar is your 4th state of mind, that is your own mind, the highest chakra. The embodied spirit, master of the city of his body, does not create activities, nor does he induce people to act, nor does he create the fruits of action. All this is enacted by the modes of material nature, nor does the Supreme Lord assume anyone's sinful or pious activities. Embodied beings, however, are bewildered because of the ignorance which covers their real knowledge. When, however, one is enlightened with the knowledge by which nescience is destroyed, then his knowledge reveals everything as the sun lights up everything in the daytime. When one's intelligence, mind, faith, and refuge are all fixed in the Supreme, then one becomes fully cleansed of misgivings through complete knowledge and thus proceeds straight on the path of liberation. The humble sages, by the virtue of true knowledge, see with equal visions a learned and a gentle Brahman, a cow and an elephant, a dog and a dog-eater, the outcast. Those whose minds are established in sameness and equanimity have already conquered the conditions of birth and death. They are flawless like Brahman, and thus they are already situated in Brahma. A person who neither rejoices upon achieving something pleasant nor laments upon obtaining something unpleasant, who is self-intelligent, who is unbewildered, and who knows the signs of God, is already situated in transcendence. Such a liberated person is not attracted to material sense pleasure, but is always in trance, enjoying the pleasure within. In this way, the self-realized person enjoys unlimited happiness, for he concentrates on the Supreme. An intelligent person does not take part in the source of misery, which are due to contact with the material senses. O son of Kunti, such pleasures have a beginning and an end, and so the wise man does not delight in them. Before giving up this present body, if one is able to tolerate the urges of the material senses and check in force of desire and anger, he is well situated and is happy in this world. One whose happiness is within, who is active and rejoices within, and whose aim is inward, is actually the perfect mystic. He is liberated in the Supreme, and ultimately he attains the Supreme. That is, the one who has his own control within himself. He has not given the remote of his control to someone else. That is, if someone tells you you're good, you become happy. Someone comes and tells you you're bad, you become sad. No, it's not like that. The learned, the wise, they are happy from within, and that is what the ultimate aim for all of us should be. Those who are beyond the dualities that arise from doubts, whose minds are engaged within, who are always busy working for the welfare of all living beings, and who are free from all sins, achieve liberation in the Supreme. Such wonderful messages in Gita are lying there, and very few of us search them and contemplate upon them and live by them. So why hiding these things? Why these things are hidden, I often feel. At least once in life, not as an Indian, I would suggest as a human being, one should at least go through these great texts. These are having wonderful messages. Those who are free from anger and all material desires, who are self-realized, self-disciplined, and constantly endeavoring for perfection, are assured of liberation in the Supreme in the very near future, shutting out all external sense objects, keeping the eyes and vision concentrated between the two eyebrows, suspending the inward and the outward breath within the nostrils, and thus controlling the mind, senses, and intelligence. The transcendentalist aiming at liberation becomes free from desire, free and fear and anger. One who is always in this state is certainly liberated. A person in full consciousness of me, knowing me to be the ultimate beneficiary of all sacrifices and austerities, the Supreme Lord of all planets and demigods, and the benefactor and the well-wisher of all living entities, attains peace from the pangs of material miseries. When we are talking of me in Gita, it stands for Krishna. When you are reading it, whichever religion, whichever community you belong to, take this me to be your master, your God, and you will have no problem in understanding Gita. Don't remain a narrow-minded person by feeling that, well, Gita is for the Hindus and not for me and not for the Christians or the Muslims. This is for everyone.